Hey, all you comic book readers and true believers, it's Tuesday, and I'm your friendly neighborhood comic guy, Mitch Harmon. You guys know what's up, Mitch's Picks. From Oni Press, Rick and Morty presents Mr. Meeseeks, written by James Osimus and Jim Festante, art done by CJ Cannon. This is a one-shot coming out of the Rick and Morty Presents. These are a line of books that just basically focus on one individual. One was done on Sleepy Gary from the Parasites episode because he needed a whole one, I guess, for whatever reason. But who does not love Mr. Meeseeks? They really only are one episode, but they are one of the most popular characters in Rick and Morty. And in this one, they kind of try to understand the meaning of life. Sounds a little heavy for those of you who know about what the Mr. Meeseeks are all about. It seems near impossible, but they kind of go through a whole bunch of different things in this, trying to understand what the meaning of life really is. Is it about pleasure? Is it about love? Is it about power? It's a really philosophical trip for all these two Meeseeks that are in this book. This is just a one shot, so it's kind of self-contained. If you kind of got a basic of what Rick and Morty is really all about, you really don't need to read anything else prior to this to understand what's going on. And also, just like I said, the fact that it's a one shot really is a great attraction for a lot of people, guys. Check it out. From Image Comics, Sonata, #1, written by David Hine, art done by Brian Haberlin. This is a new sci-fi mystery, or I'm sorry, sci-fi fantasy story coming out of Image Comics. The book revolves around this planet called Perdita. It is a mostly uninhabited planet, only occupied by these Lumani creatures. That is until people from other planets are coming to this planet. One group of people is called from the planet Ran. They're very peace-loving people, come here, just try to live with the locals and whatnot. Another group of people, the Tyans, they are a more warring type of race of people. They still look there to try to escape from the wars of their planet and whatnot, but they kind of bring that warring mentality with them. The two people, they try to exist cohesively together, but one's always got to be pushing the other one. But that seems like it's what the surface of the book is about, until you find out that this world is inhabited by these sleeping giants. Some people consider them to be old gods, which is where the fantasy aspect comes into everything. This is a new series coming out. I've never heard of the guys, David Hine or Brian Haberlin. Sorry if, for anybody that may have loved any books that they've done. But for a #1, mixing sci-fi and fantasy together really captured my attention. Plus, the art is really, really well done in this as well. We do have both covers for this series. I'm very interested in seeing where this is going to go, guys. Check it out. From DC Comics, Event Leviathan, #1, written by Brian Michael Bendis, art done by Alex Maleev. This is a new miniseries spinning out of the events that happened recently in the DC Year of the Villain one-shot and also Justice League 25, I believe is what it was. Leviathan has been going around basically one hand taking out its competition or absorbing them into the Leviathan crew, or just, and on the other hand, they're going around trying to stop Argus, trying to stop the DOE, all these superhero organizations that are trying to help prevent the total collapse of society and so on and so forth. This book revolves around the events that happen after the destruction of Odyssey, which is the new Argus thing, which is supposed to be like the Super Argus headquarters, as far as I can tell. And Batman and Lois Lane kind of show up, and they're trying to figure out exactly what happened. Find Steve Trevor in the rubble. They trying to piece together exactly what happened at this point, and also try to get better understanding of what they need to do from here on out. This is a 6-part miniseries. Like I said, ties into the DC Year of the Villain stuff, but I believe this is a separate event all on its own as well. There is no mention of the Legion of Doom in this so far, but we will see as time goes on. Anything written by Brian Michael Bendis, usually, especially if it's a miniseries, it's usually going to be pretty good, guys. Even ongoing stuff is really good. His Superman stuff has been very, very on point. But yeah, if you're looking to kind of get caught up and stay relevant on this DC Year of the Villain stuff, I highly recommend this one, guys. Check it out. For Marvel Comics, Silver Surfer Black, #1, written by Donny Cates, art done by Trad Moore. This is a new miniseries coming out of Marvel Comics. If you guys have been following the Guardians of the Galaxy, this is a tie-in. For those of you who have not, Guardians of the Galaxy #1, basically after the death of Thanos, they had his last will and testament being read in front of a bunch of cosmic beings. Gladiator, Silver Surfer, Cosmic Ghost Riders there, Nova, Moondragon, plenty of people that are the cosmic level superheroes in Marvel. And it seems like everything's going, I guess, according to plan. Until the Black Order shows up, opens a black hole, and thrusts several superheroes into this black hole, Silver Surfer being one of them. This book kind of picks up right where that leaves off. Silver Surfer, Betty Ray Bill, Cosmic Ghost Rider, Moondragon, Quasar, all these beings are like floating in this void, I guess you could say. But Surfer, having the power cosmic, is able to find a way to break through the void and get out, but only to crash land near an uninhabited planet that he has never heard of before, does not recognize, and has only just these three kind of giant sentinel type beings, almost godlike beings on this planet, who are unresponsive for the most part, and he barely understands their language, but they ensue a fight. And of course, Silver Surfer, being the Silver Surfer he is, fights back against them and overpowers them. But come to find out, they were just guarding a door. What's behind that door? You're gonna have to read to find out. Like I said, this is a new miniseries coming out. Anything Donny Cates touches, guys, it usually ends up being pretty good, especially for Marvel. Like I said, the Guardians stuff he's doing right now, and his run on Venom has been pretty good as well. And Tradmore is one of my favorite artists of all time, guys. He really is a wonderful artist, especially for someone who's in the cosmic realm of things. He has a very fluid style to his art, and it really works well for this book, guys. So I highly recommend picking this one up, guys. Check it out. For Marvel Comics, X-Men Dark Phoenix Saga, trade paperback, written by Chris Claremont, art done by John Byrne. This is probably one of the most quintessential X-Men stories that are out there. For those of you who have no idea what the Dark Phoenix is all about, what's wrong with you? Get it together, guys. But for those of you who really genuinely don't know, Jean Grey is empowered. Jean Grey basically sacrifices herself on a mission back from space, and the entire X-Men thinks that she's dead until she emerges from the river, a new costume, newly formed powers, and not really sure what it is all about. Come to find out that Jean Grey has been imbued with the Phoenix Force, which is this kind of destructive force that goes through the universe, killing off dying stars and planets, only for them to be reborn anew, hence the whole metaphor of the Phoenix. But it's a lot of power. It's actually almost a manipulative, evil power in a way, and it starts to corrupt Jean Grey and causing her to just seek destruction, because that's what the Force is really all about. Having her even turn against her own teammates and so on and so forth. This is what the newest X-Men movie is based off of. I know not a lot of people are really excited to go watch that new X-Men movie, but if you go watch it and you feel a little lackluster from seeing it, I highly recommend coming and pick this one up, guys. It is an amazing story. Plus, it's done by the team that has re-envisioned the X-Men back in the 70s and 80s. The Claremont and Byrne books are they're out of this world phenomenal, guys. I really, really highly recommend checking this out. That's all my picks for this week, everyone. Don't forget, this Friday, a little after close, we're going to be doing another movie night. It's going to be the Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, loosely based off the comics. We even did a podcast for Animation Destination here recently, so you guys go come by, watch the movie, and go listen to the podcast afterward and listen to all the cool things that me, John, and Brandon sit around and talk about. Once again, we will have drinks available here. Popcorn machines still kind of a maybe, but you guys are welcome to bring food in as well if you would like. It is going to be free as well, so just show up around 9ish or whatever. Try to get here before 9:30, because that's when we kind of close the doors and we're in the back, and we really don't hear people too well. So unless you message the store and we happen to be looking at it, it's going to be a little too late, guys. But definitely want to come by and check that out. That's all my picks for you this week, everyone. Keep reading your comics, true believers. See you guys next week.